Okay, everybody, we just learned about the art movement of surrealism and specifically the artist Salvador Dali. Although we learned about other artists, we're going to focus on Salvador Dali right now. So go ahead and get your drawing stuff out, and I will walk us through a little version of this artwork. So today is, uh-oh, the pineapple pen's giving me trouble. All right, 3/29/21. And our artist is Salvador Dali. The art movement he was associated with was surrealism. So we'll say he is a surrealistic artist from just post World War One. Okay? So, that's where we're talking about like the 20s and the 30s there. Okay? Cool. I'll give you a second to catch up. The artwork here is called The Persistence of Memory. And I'd like to take a moment right now to consider that title and what do we know about persistence and how does that play with our memories. So I'm going to pause the video and we'll talk about that now. Okay, welcome back. So we've just talked about the persistence of memory and how persistence meaning like always coming back to you, right? So if you were trying to get a job and you were persistent, you might be a pest, but maybe you'd get that job because you kept calling every day and saying that you wanted the job. So someone would say, "Boy, she sure was persistent," Okay, so now the main feature here in this artwork is what? Melting clocks, right? But also we have a landscape. Okay, so we have this unreal image combined with a very real image, super real, right? Surreal. And the beach we learned was located where? What country? And while that is real, the rest of this is surreal. So let's just modify this. We're going to use our artistic license. And what I'd like to feature is the tree with the melting clock and some of the landscape. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this tree. Now, what if your tree doesn't look exactly like my tree? It's okay. We're just trying to glean the main information here. So here I have my branch. Over my branch, I have this drooping clock, right? Which is an impossible image because a pocket watch would be made of metal and glass. So before we add the features on there, it looks kind of like a tongue, doesn't it, guys? Oops. All right, cool. And then it flops over, right? But comes around the back too. So this is like a pocket watch that would need to be wound. So we've got the little knob there. Okay. So in art, we go broad to specific, back to front, except for today we did something in the front. But and then we add the details as we go. So what I'd like to do right now is I'm going to put in our horizon line, which separates our foreground from our middle ground from our background. So the foreground is, closest to us. And another line here. And I'm going to kind of draw this rock formation here. Right? Next, I'm drawing the metal surround for the bezel, or is it called the bezel? And then the glass part of a watch is called a crystal. And the watch that's drooping, the 6 is at the bottom. And I was thinking maybe the numbers would be nonsensical, but they are just regular numbers. Okay, so now we have foreground, middle ground, background. Our subject is the clock. At this time, we're going to add some value. So behind, oops, you know what we forgot to do? Add the branch coming out here. So behind the clock, is a little darker. And then in here we have some value. A little bit of a cast shadow, and I forgot to add this guy. Cool. Then, on the left here, all right, and let's give these rocks a little character. And I'm adding a little, even though the value was quite light in the picture itself, this is the water. And I'm just going to use my artistic license to draw some more specific but still wispy clouds. And if you wanted to, and there's nothing to keep you from, you could have another kind of like melty clock on the ground here. You can have some fun. And maybe this one, doesn't make sense with the numbers. Okay, that's optional. Then we draw a little shadow behind a thing to show that it's weighted onto the ground. And we can use the side of our pencil to draw shadows and add a little dimension to our picture. I'll do the same in the sky a little bit. Take a second to back up, look at your art, squint your eyes, and then we're about there. Nice work.